established in 1893 by P.T. Barnum. It wasn't a circus-themed museum at the time. It truly was dedicated to American historical interests as well as the scientific interests. Paib has been at the Barnum Museum for well over 100 years. It was one of the greatest attractions of the museum through the 20th century and even today.
We actually x-rayed the mummy 3 years ago. At that time, the radiologist thought that he saw a bird mummy within the wrappings of Paib. That would be highly unusual.
3 years ago, the scanning was able to determine 8 layers of Paib's actual body. Technology has advanced so in just these few years that they're able to extract 64 layers.
The mummy had to be prepared. It had to be wrapped very carefully. Ron and I removed the case that the mummy was in, then packed the mummy with cushioning material, acid-free paper, then wrapped the whole thing with plastic wrap so that the mummy could be transported without any damage. What we did, we took regular x-rays to document the condition of the mummy. The mummy was then brought into another room and fluoroscopy was done, continuous x-ray, while Ron went in with an endoscope to examine the openings. Following that, the mummy was brought into the CT room for computed tomography.
This is where they broke through with that little hook to scramble the brains to pour it out. You see the groove marks all along there? That's where they reamed and reamed and reamed and angled there, and that big one at the bottom on the far bottom left. So that's, you can see the procedure. We had goals for the study today. One of the goals was, of course, to get more refined data. We certainly accomplished that. We wanted to know how old she was, and I think we refined that a little bit. We said 30 to 40 before, and now looking more closely at the data, she's more like 28 to 32. And we also wanted to look at the pelvic joint to see if she had perhaps had a birth once. The final thing that was really exciting for me, obviously, is to conduct procedural research using the new technology in harmony with the endoscopy, and that was another accomplishment of today.
There's no feathers in there at all. It's probably an organ packet. They removed the organs, they mummified them separately, and then they put them back in the body. What we've learned today is that there is not the remains of a mummified bird within the body cavity of Paib.
We look forward to working with Quinnipiac University for many years to come because there's going to be so much more opportunity. I honestly believe Mr. Barnum would be extraordinarily proud of this particular moment because not only are we offering wonder and entertainment, we're also offering huge education.
Students are going to have a better education if they have to take those basic principles and apply them into non-medical situations. Most universities really don't allow their faculty to go off on areas that may be considered tangents. But I think that we've had this great relationship with the university. We've been able to start the Bioanthropology Research Foundation and give students an opportunity that they would have nowhere else on earth.